So I've been watching a few different videos today on YouTube with people getting laid off, and it's because I can really commiserate right now, but I was on the opposite side of that conversation just a few months ago. And I mean, I was laying off people for small and mid-sized companies who didn't even know me at all. We had never met, there was no relationship there, and we would consult with the business owners, and the business owners would explain the issues they were having with the employee, or it just was about we needed to reduce headcount, the company is not doing well. Whatever the reason was, I would come into the conversation virtually and I would introduce myself. This is kind of what it sounded like. Hi, Mary. My name is Janelle. I am the HR consultant for X company. And John has brought me in today because we wanted to discuss your future with X company. Now, unfortunately, Mary, today is going to be your last day with X company. Unfortunately, the company has not seen the growth and is right now at a deficit with its revenue. So, unfortunately, it's going to be not renewing your contract and not moving forward with you, your employment. Now, I want to express a few different things, Mary. First is going to be your final pay will be on X date for X amount. You will be paid out X number of hours for vacation. Your benefits will roll through the end of the month, and after that, you will be eligible for COBRA. COBRA is 100% on your dime, so it is quite expensive, but if you're already going through some treatments or somebody on your plan is going through treatments, it's an option for you. Also, I'm going to provide you with a change in relationship document. This will say your last day with the company, and your name, social security number, etc. This will help expedite the process if you're applying for unemployment or food stamps or whatever other benefits you might be eligible for. Additionally, the company has promised not to fight against your unemployment when you do, or if you do apply. The company is willing to provide you with a recommendation letter, and outplacement resources as well. Do you have any questions for me, Mary? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mary. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye, but we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And so that's basically what it sounded like for me to go into these smaller businesses who I've never met, the employees, and essentially destroy their day and destroy their life. Now, it might sound a bit drastic, and what continued to lead me was that I was doing these separations with dignity, empathy, the amount of education is I could give them, because I've seen HR professionals, and I'll use that in air quotes, not be nice and not be respectful and be pretty downright mean in terminations. Or I've seen the HR professional be completely scared and a quivering mess and not know how to handle the conversation. And so it would just, the energy was off, and the energy would create a problem with the employee who was being terminated, which was all bad. It was bad for everybody in the conversation. So that's what kind of got me out of bed in the mornings when I knew I needed to do a termination that day. Some days I was doing up to 5, 6, 8 terminations in a day for various businesses. It was not easy. So it just really got me to thinking and watching all of these YouTube videos with people getting laid off and mass layoffs and virtual layoffs. And, if you remember back a few months ago, Cloudflare got videotaped with their termination of one of their employees. And it just got me to thinking, like, maybe I need to step into a different type of opportunity. Now, when I first was going to school, I was going to be a nurse. I was going to be an RN. That was my dream. That was my idea of the perfect position for me. And then I was called by somebody to come into HR. And I was like, okay, this is before HR became something that a lot of people were doing. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago. So it was a different landscape, and I thought, okay, let me step into those shoes and let me be all I can be in human resources. So it was the right thing at the right time. But now, as I get into a higher level of human resources, a leadership role, almost in between the leadership management and the executive team, it's kind of made me second guess a little bit about what I'm going to do, like what I want to do, what's going to drive me, and what's going to make me feel good about myself, right? Like, it's tough. It's tough when you're doing endless investigations and you're doing endless progressive disciplinary actions and you're doing terminations, layoffs, when you're handling employee grievances and issues and payroll issues, maybe even corrections that need to happen, maybe somebody wasn't paid right. Those are all pretty difficult areas to handle. And when you've been doing it for a multitude of years, and we're talking about the span of 2 decades, you carry that luggage with you, almost like a very heavy duffel bag, right? And sometimes you have to think to yourself, like, is this a duffel bag that I need to carry? Do I want to carry it? What would free me up from this duffel bag? What will make my spirit feel better? Or am I really supposed to be here helping employees in the most empathetic way, helping employees empower themselves, and helping the business stay compliant with federal and state laws? Like, is that my calling, or is something else my calling? And right now, being unemployed and being on the flip side of a layoff, a separation, it makes me really think to myself, what do I want to do next? And I don't want to be laid off again. So does that mean now I become my own boss? Do I start my own business? Or do I find another role? Maybe I work in operations. Maybe I'm an advisor for businesses. I don't know what that means right now. I know that there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, honestly, I think the sky's the limit. But we're in this like sink or swim kind of place right now, where it's almost like, okay, you're drowning and you can't come up with the ideas because you're in a fight or flight scenario, right? You're like, okay, do or die. So you're not that creative when you're in the do or die moment in your life, right? Anyways, just got me to thinking, and I just wanted to give you both sides of the coin. Somebody who has terminated lots of people, some at no fault of their own. The business just was sinking exponentially, and they had to cut weight. Or myself being, in the tech industry. My last job was, I've been in HR. It was an HR role, but in the tech landscape. And it's like, okay, you learn so much being in tech. I mean, you learn a lot, but it's so unstable. It's scary. Every day you wake up and you're like, okay, who's being terminated today? How many of my team are going to be let go? Is it my turn? It's really tough. So the last, I would say, year of my life has been in a fight mode because I don't flight. That's just not a part of my being. But it's been in a fight mode. And now I'm kind of thinking, okay, what next? What's my next comeback? How do I come back? What do I do? Anyways, just some food for thought. Love you. Bye.